Hello,
Okay.
everybody, and welcome to Fearlessly Authentic. I am your host, Jody Harrison Bauer, and I am so thrilled to have you here joining me once again from everybody from 100 countries. I believe there are 100 countries listening to this show, so I am thrilled. And if you are new to the show, well, you are in for a treat because every week, myself and my guests educate, empower, ignite, and inspire you so you can live a fearlessly authentic life. Because, in my opinion, and I believe in my guest's opinion as well, that if you're not living a fearlessly authentic life, then what are we doing here, right? We all want to live in our truest selves and we want to get over our fears. We want to overcome them. We want to live in our truth. And today's guest is going to talk about that, talk about her journey. I am so excited. I'm a huge, huge fan. So without further ado, I am here to introduce you to Netflix Selling Sunset, Vanessa Villela. How did I say that, Vanessa?
Villela.
Vigila.
Perfect. Don't worry
Okay,
about it. It's
okay.
such a
Thank you
pleasure to
so
be
much for being on the
here.
show.
No. It's my pleasure, Jody. Honestly, I actually feel that everything in life happens for a reason. I've been wanting to be in a podcast like yours.
Thank you.
Like I've been trying to help people with my story, with my experiences. I'm actually starting something too on my Instagram to inspire more with my experiences. So this is a perfect podcast for me to be in today. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. I've been watching the show since it started,
Mm.
and then you came on, and I
Mm.
thought, finally, a brunette on the show.
Well, you had Davina
Oh,
and
right, I
Amanda.
forgot. Right, but Davina wasn't
Yeah,
on there that much this year. She came
in
back
this
in.
season.
Right, right,
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
I know, but you are like a real brunette. I don't know.
Mexicana.
Yes, yes. And so you came in, and before we get into everything about Selling Sunset, which I just totally binged on the fourth season,
Mm.
you you started as a soap opera actress, right? That's your background.
Correct. Yes, I started in Mexico City when I was 4 years old.
Wow.
And it's a funny story how I started because I was in a kids party. Like one of my classmates, she it was her birthday. She invited me to her party at her house, and I went with my sister and my mom, of course. And her father was a producer of a very successful kids TV show in Mexico City in a company that is called Televisa, which is kind of like the Hollywood of soap operas in Spanish and it's actually in the world, I think, or at least at that time, it was like the main soap opera TV network producer. So yeah, I mean, my mom asked us, I mean, he was like, can your kids be in the show? Like they're adorable. Like I want them in the show. My mom asked us, and I was like, yes, I want to be in the show. So that's how I started on TV. I mean, I started at 4 years old. I jumped into the TV without knowing anything about acting or anything. I would just like play with it, and the producer was really happy with my role in the show, so he wanted me to stay longer. But my character was the girlfriend of a mini Dracula, and
Okay. I
and
love that.
and then he was like, we love your daughter, so we want her to stay as the wife of this mini Dracula. And I was like, when she told me, I was like, there's no way I'm gonna get married to Dracula, no. And I didn't want to go back. But I think I was on the show like for around, I would say like maybe a year and a half, probably. And I was also playing other characters. Also, I actually played some scenes with my sister. We actually regret that I didn't, I don't know where those videos are. I've been looking up in everywhere, and I cannot find them. And years ago, I found one, and I don't know where it is. That where I was, with in a war of pillows with my sister, and that would be like a dream for me to find those
Wow.
those
Yeah,
videos,
you need to
honestly.
find them.
I need to find them. Yeah, maybe now that I'm talking to you about this, maybe I should try and see if I can reconnect with the
Yes.
producer and see if he has them.
Yeah, that would be.
Yeah.
So, how long did you stay? You stayed in acting for your entire life, right?
Correct. Yeah. So after that, I continued like doing I mean, commercials for the network,
Mhm.
like for the Father's Day or things like that, and commercials. And then around 11 years old, I started my first soap opera in Mexico City in the same network, and I continued acting like nonstop until, I mean, I was in Mexico until around 17 years old, probably, that I decided to move to Miami. No, From 17 years old with the same network. Then I moved to the other network for another 3 years. Then I moved to Miami with another network. And I was in Miami for 9 years, probably.
Oh, wow.
And then I actually went to Colombia to work as well. That was really fun because I started like going to other countries to work, and it was just incredible to see how my life was changing. And even though it was really difficult, it was very exciting too. And I, had the opportunity to work with international actors and directors, and with another way of, of working also, like instead of going with an earpiece, it was everything memorized. So that was a challenge for me, but it was also amazing because the actors work more as a team, and then they sit with you and they really, work with the lines and everything. And then it's different. It's just a different,
It sounds so exciting. It sounds so, I remember watching soap operas when I was growing up and through college. I was watching One Life to Live, Susan Lucci. Do you know that soap opera?
No.
Oh, okay. I think it's still around, and All My Children. Oh, that was All My Children.
Well, I do know that. And it's a funny thing that soap operas in the United States, they last forever. I mean, in the Latin market, they are like 100 episodes, or now like even less, maybe 80 episodes. And now they're doing, of course, TV shows, and they have like seasons. But like soap operas are normally like between 100 to 120, or sometimes even 200 episodes. So that's it. Like
that's it.
Yeah, that's it. So if you're filming for a year and a half, that's it. And then you never play that character again.
Wow. I don't know this for sure, but I think Susan Lucci, who I, was like 30 years old when I started watching, I think she still might be on the show. So,
oh, wow.
So she's probably in her 70s or something. I don't really know.
God.
And
wow.
They go on.
I'm sure that is incredible to like go through so many stages of your life and your character, like the same character all your life.
So what was your favorite role to play?
I would say I played two characters. I would say I played one that it was very similar to me. Like, I think one of the few good girls that I played, because I normally will play the villain. And then
it's the dark hair, right? The villain.
No, I actually was blonde.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was yeah. I have had my hair color in every color. The only color that I haven't had it yet is green.
Yeah,
kidding.
Never.
No, the other one was we did the soap opera based on a Made in Manhattan with Jennifer Lopez.
Oh.
We did it in a soap opera. It was a co-production with Sony, actually, and I played the villain. And I think that was my favorite of all, because I had so much fun. It was a comedy drama, but it was like more comedy than anything. So the situations were funny, and I didn't go to a dark side, like super intense, dramatic, negative, like hate. Like it was more light. And I also created an amazing group of friends there, which is not, it's not unusual that, that you can get a good group of people, but like all of us were like a family. It was incredible. Everything in that soap opera was like just going, and I had the best time ever. Everything and everyone was amazing.
How old were you when you played that role?
Oh my God. I would say, wow, maybe 30, 20, 30, maybe early 30. Yeah, I would say like 30. I don't remember even when I did it. But,
so from somebody who started acting at such a young age, did you feel that all of those different roles and the experiences of life, so you're going through these, playing different roles, meeting new people on set, experiencing different personalities, did you feel that like in your 30s or your late 20s and you hit your 30s, did you feel that you were really evolving, like you knew who you were, and going forward, you're like, okay, I played the villain once or maybe twice, So going forward, I know that I could play really any role that's being thrown at me now because of my life experiences.
Yeah, and I also feel, I mean, I play the villain so many times, and I always try to make it different. I always try to change the voice or change my hair and the voice and the way I will walk or sit or move, like even,
Mm,
everything. I will try to make it different every time, because always, a villain always have the similarities, especially in soap operas. So I
right.
always wanted to do something different, but more than I think that I I knew that I was ready for different things, and that's when I decided to move to Los Angeles. Even though I was under contract with a TV network that I was working at that time, I was like, it's time for me to try other things too. And I started working a lot on my spiritual, yeah, and my spirituality and myself, because obviously, like you said, like life throws you different challenges, and I wanted to be better, and I wanted to improve my life. And I know that, if I was continuing, like I wasn't feeling like I was going anywhere different, and I didn't
Mm.
want to like do all the time like negative characters and stay also like just categorized as just a villain. I wanted to do more. So I need to probably go somewhere where I can do and play different roles.
Don't you find that when you move someplace, I actually talked about this on social media about that if you feel like you need a change, if you're in a rut or something life changing happens to you, changing where you live can have a huge impact on what happens to you next. And I know that you were really close to your sister. Was she in Miami with you when you were there?
No, no, no. My sister actually was the first one to move from Mexico to the United States, of my family. Like, of course, my mom, my sister, and I were super close. And the first one to move out of the city of the country was my sister. And then after it was my mom. And then after my mom, it was me. And it's so funny because there's a photo of the three of us,
Mhm.
that each of us are looking. It's funny because it was supposed to be a photo where we were supposed to be looking at the same place, right? And my sister was looking, I don't know, to the left, my mom to the right, and I was looking straight, or like it's so
Mm.
so bizarre. I mean, it's so crazy. I don't know if
Wow.
that's the word, but it was really crazy to
Wow.
see how our lives just like moved completely, because my sister moved to San Diego, my mom moved first to Houston, and I moved to Miami. So we were, yeah,
Wow.
yeah, middle, in the west and east coast. It was just like crazy.
That must have been hard because you were all so close, right? But you were at the
Mhm.
points in your life where you just each had to be where you needed to be, right?
Yes, exactly. And sometimes for you to achieve some things that you want in life, you have to make some sacrifices. And I'm really passionate about my career, and I'm really passionate about my work, and I really felt like it was like the right thing to do, and the right place to be. So I went for it, and I obviously always tried to keep my family like as close like as I could. When I was able to travel, I would travel. Like sometimes I was spending Christmas on my own, because we only had 2 days off of filming, when we were very close to the air or whatever in soap operas. So I wouldn't have time to come all the way to California from Miami and go back on time, right? But every time that I was able to do it, I will. And then we were on the phone, of course, all the time. And then when FaceTime came, FaceTiming
Right.
all the time.
Yeah, of
So
course. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
I
been a
think that
great
FaceTime
thing.
made it way easier. Yeah.
So, in your 30s, when you said that you moved to LA, you felt like you needed a change, you started getting more mindful about things, more spiritual. What had changed in your life to go there, to really dig a little bit deeper? Was there anything life changing?
Well, I mean, I was playing a character that it was well, very strong villain. She was very, very negative and screaming and getting upset all the time. So I got very sick, with my cortisol levels went super high,
Oh,
because it's not like I was staying with my character, like after filming, but the body doesn't know that you're acting. You're just living those 11, 12, 14 hours a day that I was screaming and, getting angry. Like my body doesn't know that I was acting. And I cannot pretend that I'm upset, because then my audience will never believe me. So I would have to get really upset and go like super crazy on my scenes and, and break. It was the craziest character I have ever played. And I was working like crazy from Monday through Saturday. So I got a very high levels of cortisol. So my stress went super high. And I also felt like I was, like I needed something. I wanted to work on myself, and I felt like I needed to heal a lot of pain that I had gone through my life. So I was like, it's time for me to take a break and work on myself and heal my wounds from my past, and also heal my body from this imbalance of cortisol that created an imbalance in hormones, an imbalance in my everything, my thyroid, everything went crazy. So I was like, I need to reset, and I need to regroup and start healing. And my heart was telling me like it's time to connect with you, Vanessa, like not get lost in so much like in work. And what about you? So that's what I did.
It's so true. I know that you're very health conscious. I went through something. I lost my mom on December 28th. And
I'm so sorry.
Thank you. And I never experienced such high levels of cortisol, what you're talking about. And I thought I had experienced stress in my life, but it really affected me. And I gained 10 pounds. And I'm a little person. I'm only 5 feet tall. So 10 pounds, I can't do 10 pounds. And as soon as we had her funeral, it started to just melt away. And I'm sure as you started doing the work on yourself, you felt the levels, because the body doesn't know. You're absolutely right. You can't say, oh, mind, do something different to the body. So that's amazing. And that you did that you realize I need to heal, because the body just needs the mind to go with it and heal all together. So important for everybody to know that.
Yes. Was this recent December?
This past
Just
December.
recently?
Yeah, it was the day after my birthday.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh,
I'm
thank
so
you so
sorry.
much. Thank you. I
But
appreciate
you seem
that.
like, like someone that, well, now you'll take that pain and make it into something, great. And that's what I did with my sister. I took the pain and I continued taking that pain and that love for her to use it as fuel, to improve my life and to do things in her name, in her honor, like this career now. And of course, we'll go into that more when you want. But I know that she's now, an angel taking care of you.
How long ago did you lose her?
3 years ago.
3 years ago.
3 years ago.
So you mentioned that there was something she said to you. So you were an actress your whole life, and then she tells you what?
So we're gonna get emotional here. So she was a realtor in San Diego, and she was doing really well, and she kind of felt that I was having like my free time of not acting, because I wanted to take that break to heal my body and and get better as a person, because I always like to do anything that will make me feel better or be better for myself and for others. And she told me, why don't you do real estate? I mean, my career is going so well. My first year I did so much money, and I think that you can combine it perfectly with acting. If you don't want to act, you don't act. If you want to act, you go back. If you want to work as a real estate agent, you're your own boss. So you don't have to work 24/7. Like whatever you want, you'll do. And I think that you can do amazing, because you're really good with people. The way you relate with people is incredible. You're amazing with them. And that's half of the job, like, understanding people and being good with people.
Relationships, right?
Yes. So she was like, why don't you try it? And I was like, oh, yeah, that sounds something interesting. I mean, I'm seeing how well she was doing too. Obviously that was inspiring to me. So I was like, yeah, maybe if I can combine it, why not? So I kind of like started studying, and I still was under contract with a network at that time that I was working with, and they called me to go to Mexico to film a TV show. They had an incredible success. It actually was the first TV show in Spanish to win an Emmy. And it was an offer that I couldn't say no to it.
What was the
And
name
plus
of
I
the
was under
show?
contract. And in Spanish is El Señor de los Cielos. In English is the Lord of the Skies.
Okay.
So I was like, that's an offer that I couldn't say no to it. I
Right.
mean, everyone knew about the show. It was like 4 seasons in, like, oh no, 3. I was coming into season 4. And I was like, wow, this is incredible. And it was a drug dealer show. So action and like, you know, something completely, yeah, even though it was like, it wasn't really a villain because she was actually coming to get revenge.
Oh,
I
like
yeah,
that.
but I was, it was like such an incredible character, but it was coming to get revenge to the lead guy and to become, you know, the girl of the lead guy for my time in the show. So I went to do the show, and I actually brought my books with me. I was like, I'm going to study. I'm going to, you know, I didn't have time. I was working like crazy. And actually the locations were like an hour away from Mexico City. So my driver will pick me up at 4 or 5 a.m. in the morning. We will get to location at 6, 7. Then breakfast, then makeup, and then go to film, and then coming back at 10 p.m. at home. I was like devastated. I was there,
Right. When are you going to study to become
nothing,
a real estate
exactly.
agent?
I
Right.
just brought them.
There you
I
go.
left them as a decoration.
Right.
So, anyways, to make the long story short, I came back. I continued studying. Then I went back again for season 5 of the same show. And then when I finished, I came back, and I was a little like, I need time for me. Like, I don't want to get into real estate. I don't want to act right now. I just want time for Vanessa. And I went to Miami to visit my friends. And I just, because I lived there for nine years, so I have a lot of friends, and I wanted a little break from LA, because also LA, it wasn't getting any easy for me. Like, every time that I will go to an audition, they will be like, but you don't look Latina, or you don't look Mexican. And
Really?
I was like, oh my, yeah.
Now, was your hair dark or was it blonde?
No, I mean, I had it in every color, like dark,
Okay.
caramel, which is my original color. It's kind of like caramelish.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, when I went to Miami, I was like, you know what, whatever, I'm just gonna go blonde, because they actually don't even see me as a Latina, so whatever.
Wow.
And I had a possibility of working in a character as a blonde, so I was like, I'm gonna just go for it, and if I get it, I get it, and if not, I'll just have my season of being blonde and whatever. Let's have fun with it. So I changed my hair color. I went to Miami, and I was supposed to be there for 10 days, and I ended up staying like for, I think, like 5 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, I kind of like didn't want to come back. I was super happy. I was like, and there was not a reason. Like, it's not like, oh, I got a job, or I had a nothing. It was just me being happy with me. I think that for the first time in my life, you know, it was like just being happy with myself and with me. And I think I kind of like had a little bit of fear to come back maybe and lose that happiness that I was feeling, right?
That's
probably.
Yeah, that's really interesting, because you were out in LA and then you came back because you left Miami to go to LA to center yourself more. And then you found yourself back in Miami saying, wait a minute, like, I like me here this time, right?
Yeah. But in reality, I think that it was because I was happy with myself. So no matter where you are, you can be in the best place in the world. If you're not happy with yourself, you're not going to be happy, period. Because it's within.
That's a perfect point. Perfect.
Yeah. So I came back on a Thursday, and then the next day on a Friday, my sister passed away. So my life from being, thank you, from being like, you know, like, wow, like I was at my happiest and at my best, it just became a nightmare all of a sudden in an instant. So she had a staging company, and I actually was in conversations with her to come and open a LA staging from her company, but one in LA. And she will teach me how to do the business and everything. So I will be able to combine it if I do the real estate with the staging. But she was like, just go for the staging now, because you're not doing the real estate yet. So let's go for it. I was like, okay. So I came back, and this happened. So I never got to understand or learn anything about the business. So it took me probably like 2 months to really like take the decision to go and pick up the furniture and do something with her legacy. I was like, okay, so I'm gonna make this business a success, just like she was doing in San Diego, but in LA, because that's where I live, and I want to do something good for my family and for my nephew and my mom. I can create like a family business. So I brought all the furniture to LA. It was one of the hardest
Oh my
days
goodness.
of
I
situations of,
can't even imagine.
yeah, because everything was unexpected. So it's not like she left any instructions, nothing. It was everything like nothing. I had no idea what I was doing. And so I started going to open houses, and nothing was making sense. Nothing. I was not getting any clients, nothing. So I was getting very frustrated. And one day I sat in my car and I was like, Jackie, I need you to give me a sign.
Oh.
I don't know what to do. I don't know if I should just sell the business. I am just spending money with the storage and nothing's happening. And if the months are going by and I'm just like, losing, I don't know what to do. I
Right.
am lost.
You were directionless. You just didn't
Yeah,
know. Like,
exactly.
give me
And I
a
didn't have
sign, give me
anyone.
some kind of sign. Right.
Yeah. So but the night before, I was looking for open houses in another area, because that was it. I said, well, maybe I'm doing it wrong. Maybe I'm doing the wrong areas. Maybe my furniture is not very like modern and high end, like super expensive homes. Like right now, the one that I have right now is more contemporary, like more San Diego style.
Right.
So I said, maybe if I go to another area, maybe I'll find it. So the night before, I looked for open houses and I couldn't find anything. So that morning, which is Sunday, I sat in my car and I was like, I need a sign. So I opened my phone. I said, if I find open houses, I'll just go. And if not, I'll just gonna go home and sleep. I was like very sad and depressed. So I opened my phone and I found like 20 open houses. I was like, wow, okay, that's a good sign. So I went for it. And the first one I picked, I go there and the realtor was just opening the house. He invited me like, oh, sorry, I'm just opening. I was like, oh, no, it's okay. Can I help in anything? We were talking for 5 minutes and he was like, I want you to work for me. I'm like, what? I'm like, I'm not a realtor. He was like, oh no, what are you? I'm like, no, I have a staging company. He was like, no. Forget about the staging. You should be a realtor. You're amazing with people. So he used the same words that my sister used.
Wow. And we are going to stop right there. We're going to take a
Okay.
little break and we will be
Okay.
right back. Hold on
Amazing.
in a few minutes. And we are back with Vanessa Villela. Did I say it better? Yay.
Yes.
Yay. Because it didn't seem right to me saying it like that, but I knew that if I said it like that, it would be correct. So welcome back. And we were talking about looking for that sign. And I think in life, people give us sign, the universe gives us a sign. But if we're not in tune to receiving that sign, then we won't see it, right? But
Yeah.
you were very, very in tune with, because you had gone to LA, you had worked on yourself, you were ready for a sign. You were open. Your heart was super open. So this man says to you, no. Go ahead. Finish telling us the story.
You're like, no. Forget about the staging. You should be a realtor. You're amazing with people. And he's like, you're going to be very successful. I was like, wow. And that's exactly what my sister told me. And all the people that knew me, that knew that I was trying to do the staging, everyone was like, forget about staging. You should be a real estate. And I was like, no, the real estate is not in my plans right now.
You were
You don't
fighting it. You were
understand.
fighting
I'm
it.
like,
Yes.
yeah. I was like, you don't understand. Like, like real estate. I mean, I own a business. I have to make it work because my sister put so much effort in this.
Right.
I cannot let it go.
Right.
So in my head was like a no, like real estate was a zero, like not in my no. I was like, I own a business now. I need to make it work and help my family with this. So when he said that to me, I was like, okay, Jackie, I hear you. Because that was the first, I was able to find the open houses. It was the first one that I picked. All of the 20 open houses I found, that was the first one, and the words that he used. And I was like, okay. So I wasn't listening. Now I'm listening. So I'm going to do it. So I started studying again and I got serious this time, like serious in the meaning that, like I'm not going to stop until I get my license. So there's no soap opera, no TV show that is going to stop me from getting it.
I love that.
So I started studying, and then the pandemic started. So I had my test, my in-person test ready, and then the pandemic hit, so they stopped me from going. And I was like, oh
Oh,
no.
oh no, what was
So
right?
yeah, so I was like, oh god, well, it's okay, it will happen when it happened. And then I think it was probably I think my exam was around March or April when they stopped it. And then in August, I obviously stopped studying, because I was like, oh, who knows when I'm gonna get
So
my test.
This is August of 2020,
2020.
right?
Yes.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, who knows when I'm gonna get my exam. And then one day my brother was like, hey, have you checked if they reopen, because they're starting like, lifting a little bit the restrictions and things like that. So I was like, oh no, I haven't checked. So I go into the website, and they're like, they already set me up for like 10 days after that day. I was like,
Oh,
what?
wow.
I haven't studied
You're
in
like, wait a
3 months.
minute, I haven't
No.
been studying. Hold on, hold on.
Yes, I was like, no, I think I'm gonna change the date. And my brother was like, no, you can do it. I was like, yeah, you know what? Yes,
Oh,
I can do it.
wow. Oh,
So
love
I'm
this.
gonna go for it, and I'm gonna do it. And I did it, and I went, and I passed, and I was in shock because
Mm,
everyone told me that most people will take 2 or 3 times. Like the California real estate exam is one of the most difficult in the United States. Like I think
wow.
New York and California are the
Right.
most
I've
difficult
heard
ones.
that too. Yes.
So I couldn't, I was screaming because they give you the paper inside of the building, but they don't let you open it to see if you pass or not.
Oh, really?
You have to open you have to open it to know if you pass it or not. They give it the results the same day, right after you finish your test. But you have to leave the building, and once you leave the building, you can open it. So I opened the paper, and when I read congratulations, I was like,
Uh,
it was the screaming, just like you saw me on the show when I got
yes,
my,
yes.
like that, just like that. So yeah, that's how I started in real estate, and I feel that everything was a sign of you're in the right path. Everything's good. Like you're doing what you're supposed to do.
I agree. Again, like, oh, keeping your head and your heart open for those opportunities, because if we stay closed in, we never look up, we never look
Yeah,
around. And going back to the picture of you with your mom and your sister, it's like you're all both looking in different directions.
yeah,
Like, where is the world going to take us? Where are we going to go? Where are we going to
yeah,
travel? So tell
yeah.
me, so you get your real estate license. How do you get on Selling Sunset? How does this all happen?
Well, that was another incredible story, because I always been a big manifester. I believe a lot in the power of the word and in the mind, of course. And I do manifest what I want, and sometimes even what I don't want, because if I focus on the fears and I let the fears, overcome, which is something that I don't allow anymore, but before I used to,
Mhm,
I will even manifest things that I don't want.
mhm.
So I started working in a really good company, amazing company, in a wonderful office. I was super happy. And then one day I was sitting there, and I was like, oh, sometimes I feel like I'm in Selling Sunset. And I don't know why, because in my head wasn't at all to be on TV or anything. I was just super focused on real estate. And then
Wait, so it just came to you, I should be on
yeah,
Selling Sunset. It just
no,
popped
I
into your
felt
head.
like I was on the show. Like I was in a sofa.
Oh, I have
Uh,
goosebumps.
yeah, I was in a sofa in the office that I was working at that time. And because I don't know, I related the sofa with me being like all dressed up and
Yeah,
like
yeah,
being
for
a
sure,
realtor.
for sure. Yeah,
I don't know.
I
I just
get
like
it.
I spoke with my best friend, and I was like, I don't know why I felt that I was in Selling Sunset. And that was it. But I didn't really give any thought of anything, because it's not, I wasn't thinking of that. So
Right.
2 days later, I received a message from Selling Sunset producers saying that they want to interview me and they want to do an audition.
Vanessa, I cannot believe that story. I
I
cannot
know,
believe that.
I
That
know.
is
So
powerful thinking, girl.
I
Wow.
know, I
Oh,
know. So I actually called my friend, and I was like, "You're not gonna believe this. You have to FaceTime me." Like they just called me from. I told her 2 days before, and yeah, and then then I did the audition, and then I think that obviously, working with Jason and Brett was obviously like, wow. I mean, are you kidding me?
Amazing.
They're incredible. So the show is like the perfect thing for me to jump in. So that's how
So
I
you
got
were
it.
selling real estate for just a couple of months when this
Yes.
opportunity came up. So again, going back to your sister, she saw this for you, and
Mhm.
being an actress your whole life and then going into real estate, it sounds like, even though it's reality TV, nobody's really acting, but
Mhm.
it's a place where you felt super comfortable, right? Like cameras, TV, like everything around you, like this was like, yeah, I know this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think that obviously, yeah, probably the cameras didn't scare me at all. I mean, and it's not honestly, there's a moment where you completely forget they're there because in acting you do have them closer to you.
Hmm.
In acting they're more in front of you, and you really have to create a fake wall or whatever. But in reality TV, it's a strange, I don't know, it's different. they
Is
they
it?
put them in some place that you barely see them, and I completely forgot about it. That, yeah, it was something that I truly believe that she's guiding me, and it's very incredible that I was here trying to do the crossover,
Yes.
and then
Yes.
the crossover came in another way that I would never imagine, and also in a way that will allow me to be myself for the first time and not be a villain. That I didn't want to be a villain anymore. I wanted to be myself. I wanted to like, I wanted to be myself, and or do some things that I will enjoy, not that I will be getting my body sick and
Right.
you
You're
know
the opposite of a villain on the show, but it just goes to show you that when you believe, and you said the word crossover, and I'm not sure exactly what you meant by that, but how I interpret it is that you were you were fighting what was supposed to come to you when you were doing the staging for your sister. You were trying to keep that alive, and then when you finally, and there's a lot of talk, when you finally fall into your truth, there's that
Mhm,
there's that vulnerability, right?
mhm,
We have to
mhm,
be vulnerable, and you were fighting it because it was a little scary. You're like, I'm not going to do that. And then
mhm,
once
mhm.
you allowed yourself to open your heart, be vulnerable, everything fell into place.
Right. And when you release, also, release the surrender.
Yes.
I
Yes.
I surrender. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do it, and yeah, release the fear. I think the fear is the biggest enemy, and it's normal. It's obviously yourself, you know.
Totally.
So, and
Yes.
it could be, yeah, it's up to you if you take it down, and put it in the corner, and then fight for your dreams, and or you let them, stay there and then do nothing about your life.
And for so many years, one of the reasons that I call this show Fearlessly Authentic was because I was always such a scaredy cat. And it wasn't until I made big changes in my life that I realized I could take risks and I wouldn't be afraid to take those risks and stand in my truth. And that's what you're doing. As you said, I've never been more myself than in this role I'm playing right now, because I get to be me. I get to
Yeah.
choose how I want to put myself out there in the
Mhm.
world and how I want the whole world to see me.
Yeah.
So when you first walked in, the first day that you were
Mm.
introduced to all of us on the show, how did that feel to walk in there? Was that really the first time you walked in?
Yeah, it was really the first
Hey,
time. Yes.
no. Oh, wow. I didn't
Everything
know
you see
that.
there, like, they didn't want to let me meet anyone before or anything at all. Even like, even after that scene, they didn't let me stay longer. So every situation will unfold naturally with them. Yeah, it was incredible. I was extremely nervous. I didn't know what to expect from the girls, because I'm used to work with women, and normally women that success and beautiful women, they're normally competitive, and like, oh, I don't know, I didn't expect that all of them will be nice to me, to be honest.
They were really
um
nice to you.
yeah, they were really nice to me, and I think that also, you know obviously they're all super sweet, but also it comes from when you open your heart, like you say, when you're someone vulnerable and open, then you can create connections. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. You cannot connect with someone if you don't open your heart. So
That's really interesting. I feel that you really did that. I never thought of it like that, but you did. You came in so open, and
mm,
that's why they did connect with you. And that's why everybody on the show really loves you. And your connection with Christine, I found that to be the most interesting, to tell you the truth.
mm,
Tell me about this is a real relationship, right? This is a real friendship.
yes,
You have her
yes,
lipstick on,
yeah,
which I love, and
exactly.
you have to give me the color of it because it looks so
I
good on you.
will.
But tell
Thank you.
me, a little bit about that relationship.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think she was one of the most that I was concerned about meeting. I didn't know how would she be with me. I was a
Right.
little like, my friends warned me like, oh, be careful, maybe she'll be, not nice to you. And I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna go with an open heart. But I was a little like nervous to get to know her and see how would she be with me. But at the same time, I was like, I'm just gonna let things unfold naturally and see. And that as you saw, I mean, in the first episode, she was like, "Oh my God, I wanted to be so mean to you, but I can't. You're so sweet." And that's what she gave me all the time. She gave me that sweetness that like we actually like a lot of things, like similar things. Like you saw oh my God, what's the name of the stone I gave her? I forgot. Well, the for the baby, to protect the
Right.
baby.
Yes,
Uh
yes. What stone?
I forgot that it's a purple one. I
Is it
remember. I don't.
amethyst? Amethyst?
Aha! Thank you.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
thank you.
Yeah, I have an amethyst at my fitness studio. I have an amethyst
Aha!
there, and I have one when my mom was sick. I had one right next to her too. So
Oh
yeah, the
yeah.
stones are very healing.
Yeah, and we were talking about how they can. I mean, how we both like spirituality and meditations and protection and all these things, energetic protection, all these things that we both share and we both like. So that's why I think that I don't know. It was just something
It
that happened, and we liked each other, and it was natural.
and it's right. So I think a lot of the people that watch the show, myself included, I was surprised at the friendship there, but I think
Mm.
she was. I'm not speaking for her, so please don't think this. That maybe she was looking for somebody like you, somebody who was grounded, because there was a lot of bickering about her in the office.
Well, I mean, I think that what happens is that I came with a neutral,
Right.
story. I didn't want to judge anyone. I'm not that kind of person. I would never judge anyone from what happened in their past or what they have done in the past. Like I want to see how they are with me and give them the benefit of the doubt. And then if they do something to me, well, that's different. Obviously, I'm not gonna just allow anyone to disrespect me or treat me bad. But
Of
with
course.
her, I mean, I would not be different because she had problems with someone else. So
I
yeah.
remember the scene, and I don't remember which episode it was, where you're with Mary.
Mm.
She confronts you and she's like, stop, don't
Um,
say anything more. What Tell us about that scene, and how did that feel? What was that like?
I mean, I understand because she has her reasons, like everyone has their different story with her. So I understood that, of course I was trying to make things better for I did feel that Christine was suffering, and I did feel that if you have a friendship that was especially between Mary and Christine so
Right.
deep, and it was so for so many years, that there could be an opportunity. And that's why I try to, sometimes you're upset, but it's more because I feel that if you don't love that person, you would probably not be that upset, if
I
that
agree.
makes sense.
I totally
So I
agree with
felt
you.
that
I think
maybe
it's
there's
right. I think there's a lot of passion between them as friends. I think there is a deep, deep love. That's just me giving my little 2 cents in here.
yeah.
And so you ended up taking Christine to see a mindset coach. And we
Yes.
talked a little bit before we got on
Mm.
the air about mindset. And I know, obviously both of us are spiritual and we do a lot of work on our mindset. And that has a lot to do with manifestation. And why did you feel that a mindset coach would help her, and how it could help other people also?
Well, because she helped me a lot. She has helped me a lot. When I, with obviously, I met her after my sister passed away,
Mhm.
and again, as I told you, I was like, oh, nothing's working. Like I'm, like, what am I gonna do? Like I was depressed, and I was Yeah, I was having a healing energy emotionally, but I think that my mindset was, I was kind of like fighting with my heart and my mind, and then
Yep.
she helped me to reconnect and I don't know, like to put my mindset into and focus on the positives and all the things that I wanted, not
Right.
the things that I didn't want. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I felt that I asked Christine, like, I have these options and which one resonates with you, and because we both spiritual, and I know that you like these kind of things, would you be open to see, and maybe that will help you, and hopefully it will even help you with the people at the office, with your friends, and it's not for your future friends. So she said
Right.
yes, and she went, and I'm really happy that she opened herself to go, and that she was open to, I think that the best and the first and the biggest step for someone is to say yes. I
I
think that
agree.
we all need a mindset coach. I think that we all need, yeah, I mean, it's not because you have a problem. Like, I think that life is challenging. And then if you know how to master your mind, then you can have everything you want in your life.
Absolutely. I mean, as you're talking about how you manifested this, thinking about sunset, I was just sharing today with my sister a manifestation that I have, and she's like, "Oh, I don't do that. I need to do that." And how do you get there? And it's practice. It's just you have to just believe in yourself and believe that whatever comes through, again, opening up your heart. So as
Mhm.
you're in this show, this very popular show on Netflix, Selling Sunset,
Mhm.
what has been the biggest thing you've learned since starting? And how,
From selling, from
um,
the show.
yes.
Uh, well, that successful women, if they can be like, it's the first time that I feel that there is a sisterhood, not competition in a way that will be uh trying to see how can I. So yeah, in a way that that we can work as a team and not against each other. And I love that, because it's the first time that I feel that all the women that I work with are not kind of like, we're in the same, like, let's work together.
That's amazing. It is hard to work with a lot of women sometimes, and successful, strong, powerful women sometimes they have their barriers up, but I love that everybody is there to help one another. And I think you brought a different vibe into the office also, just with your whole being. And so how is it going selling real estate? You're in Malibu, right?
Yes, I am.
So tell me about that. How's it going? You're selling a few homes?
Yeah, I mean, well, I saw the one that you saw
Yep.
on the show, which is really exciting. I'm working on with some developers right now that they're, working and finishing some projects. I actually had a meeting today with them, so it's pretty exciting. I'm waiting for a client to recover from COVID to
Mm,
list a house there, and working with buyers as well. I mean, sometimes with buyers is a little bit more difficult because it's not, the first of all, the market is very tight at the moment,
right.
so there's not a lot of, so if they don't find what they want, like, there's nothing you can do, like, you
Right.
have to.
That's what everybody is saying, that
Yeah,
there's just not anything to sell. You're running out of real estate to sell, right?
yes, exactly. But at the same time, I feel that a lot of people that are considering to sell, they should do it, because right now it's been seen that it's getting, like, people are getting way over asking, and people are listing like insane prices, like a house that will be listed for probably will be worth 5 million, they're listing it for 7 or 8, and it's getting sold. So, like, it's a great market, because people, especially with money, like Malibu or
Hmm.
Beverly Hills, they have the money, so if they like it, they will be like, I don't care if it's worth 5 and it's listed for 7, I'll give 7 because I want it, and because there's a bidding war, because there's no inventory right now.
Right.
They're not the only ones that want probably that house. So, sellers are taking
It's a great
advantage.
time to,
It's
yeah,
a
it's a
great
great time to
market
be
right
in
now
real
for them.
estate. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So,
Wow. Wow. So
yeah,
tell
so
me a
real
little
estate
bit.
is interesting. I mean, it's not a walk in the park. It's not sunshines and sunshines and rainbows all the time.
but I always feel that, again, like the mindset is everything. And I do feel that everything should be easy and smooth. And that's what I manifest in my life.
I mean, it's very, very powerful. So we only have a few more minutes left, but I wanted to talk about two different things. Again, going back to the fear that we've touched upon, do you ever have any fear of the aging process?
I mean, not really. To be honest, I'm someone that I take very good care of myself. I'm also very lucky.
You have beautiful
Latina
skin.
genes.
Yeah, you have gorgeous skin.
I think I get scared of not being healthy, and I
Mm.
was recently, challenged. I'm still being challenged by that. I got COVID in August.
I'm
It was
sorry.
really bad, and
Mhm.
I'm still dealing with long COVID, which, yeah, it's been a
Didn't know.
crazy ride because I went through everything. I have gone through a lot of different symptoms, but at the same time, I always think that everything happens for a reason, and all these
I
things that are
agree.
happening to me is also for me to help others. And I'm sharing on my lives. I'm trying to help people finding happy, and and stay positive, even through adversity, and how, or like I said to you in the beginning, like how we can use the pain into fuel, and use that into something positive, and not lay yourself down because something is not going right, because you have the power to change anything or everything you want. It's in you.
It,
Everything is in you. So the thing that the hardest part for me of the long COVID was when I lost my hair. I started losing hair, like bunches of hair. I was touching my hair and I would be like losing, like washing my hair, and my house would be full of bunches
oh
of
my
hair
goodness, I
everywhere.
had no idea.
Oh yeah, I lost a lot of hair, and I had
You
to
have gorgeous hair.
thank you, man. Thank you. I mean, thank God it stopped. So I'm very grateful for that. So now, of course, it's growing, but I have to use a spray too. And it's funny because it only like fell from from the front of my why not in
Why?
the
You're
back,
like,
right?
why couldn't
Why?
it go
I
in the
mean,
back? Where,
honestly,
right.
but I think that as a woman, that's obviously something that is not. I mean, men, they can look good, like but
Right.
women, we're different.
Men.
So we need our hair, and I work for TV too. So I think I don't know, and yeah, I just don't get it. Like I just want my hair back, So,
You'll get it
I'm
back.
like, okay, so I have it like that right now. Okay, I'm
Right.
gonna get a spray. I'm not gonna get frustrated. It's gonna grow back, and I'm gonna get the spray, and then I'm gonna forget about it. And that's what I did. So, it's like I don't, and then I'm gonna use the hair on this side that it looks, I don't have to show it so much because it's funny, but on this side,
Looks
I'll
good.
show you.
Let's
I mean,
see.
right now I have the spray, so I don't think that you'll
Mhm.
see it, but maybe you can see the baby hairs.
I can see the baby hair. Yep.
So that's where I lost the most. So I'll just put my hair here,
Oh,
and that's
yeah.
not
I mean, you
happened,
can
and
rock. You can
whatever.
rock
These other things
anything.
are more important in life than these, honestly. And
Exactly.
the last thing that I'm dealing with is the Parasomnia Syndrome, which is the taste and smell of sewage, of certain foods. So
Wow.
yeah, it tastes like garbage or so. And there's a lot of people that are dealing with this after COVID. It seems like it's not unusual.
Mhm.
Some people last with this for months. So what I do, I've been obviously at the beginning, and some days it's been like, oh my God, please just stop. I don't need another thing, a new
Wow.
one. But what I do is, like, if I know that, I don't know, chicken makes me sick because
Right.
it tastes like sewage, then I'm just gonna stop eating chicken. And what else do I love? Okay, I love meat, so I'm gonna eat more meat, and that's it.
Right.
Because if I'm gonna keep like, oh my God, I can eat chicken, like I'm not gonna get anything from that.
Right.
I'm not gonna recover faster.
Right.
So,
Right. And
and I know that it's gonna go away just like the other symptoms went away. So it's just a matter of time, and keep my body healthy, and getting the right supplements and the right vitamins. And I'm with a doctor that is amazing, that she's helping me to balance my hormones, which is another problem because of COVID. And then I'm with the best hormonal, which, if you or anyone that is
yeah,
watching
you need to let me
needs a
know.
doctor, yeah. Oh my God, for hormones, she's expert in hormones, and she's incredible, and it's everything natural, and it's incredible. So
Like I
I'm
said, I'm
thrilled.
61. So yes,
Oh
yes.
my God, I still can't believe it. Like, you
Yeah.
have to give me your ticket.
It's
Yeah.
I don't know.
If I
I
age like you, then I'm fearless, believe me.
you are very, very sweet. But I believe everything, as we've spoken about this, I believe everything happens for a reason. And they say your mess is your message. So whatever mess we're going through is going to help us help other people. Again, we're here for a purpose, right? And we don't really know truly what our purpose is, but eventually we figure it out. And we
Mhm.
just, you just shared this with all of us about losing your hair and COVID and so on. And that could have just helped somebody else.
Yeah.
And, we're here for a purpose. And just like you're helping people on the show find homes, mindset coach. So
Yeah.
with that said, I have one last question for you.
Mhm.
What does it mean to you to be fearlessly authentic?
Well, to be yourself without any restrictions. Like, speak your truth, be true to yourself, because that's when the magic happens. When you speak your truth, you're aligned with who you are and what you feel, and only good things can come out of that. Like, when you restrict yourself from telling or saying or doing what you really want, I think you're suffering, and you're putting an energy that is not going to allow for things to flow. And we are all beautiful inside and out. It doesn't matter how we look and how we are. Like, we always have beautiful things that we can give, if we just let our hearts open and be, fearlessly of being vulnerable, and yeah,
You
and
are
be yourself.
just
That's, yeah.
like, I love you, love you, love you, love you. And I'm so glad that we were able to meet and do this
Me
interview.
too. Me too. I can't wait to meet you in person.
So I would love to meet you in person.
Yeah, me
I,
too.
so for those of you who don't know who Vanessa is, how can people find you?
Well, they can find me on my Instagram. It's Vanne Villela, VANNE VILLELA. Or on Selling Sunset season 4, and very soon season 5.
I
And
can't wait. I
yes,
can't wait. Thank you so, so much.
thank
Everybody,
you.
thank you for joining us today again on Fearlessly Authentic, and have a great rest of your week. Thank you again, Vanessa.
Thank you, Jody. I wish you the very best always.
Thank you.
Mwah. Thank you.